Standard 7, angles in algebra. Learning target number 3. I can apply properties of vertical angles to solve algebra problems. Vocabulary. Let's start with vertical angles. When you have two lines that intersect each other, such as this guy and this guy, angles are formed. 4 angles are formed. Now, in this case, we're naming them angle 1, angle 2. So this is angle 1, this is angle 2, angle 3, and angle 4. Now, I need to make that all go away. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Vertical angles are angles that are across from each other. So every time you have lines that intersect, 2 sets of vertical angles are formed. And vertical angles are, like I just said, across from each other. Angle 1 and angle 3 and angle 3 is one pair of vertical angles because they are across from each other. And also angle 2 and angle 4 are vertical angles because they are across from each other. Now, the cool thing about this is that vertical angles are equal. They are equal to each other. So I know that angle 1 is equal to angle 3, and angle 2, the measure of that angle, is equal to angle 4. All right, from the last learning target, you guys reviewed linear pairs. Those are a really big deal in here too. So we have 4 sets of linear pairs here. Linear pairs are angles that share or that make a straight line. Okay, watch this. Here is a straight line. On the top of it, like on the top left, you have angle 1 and angle 2, right? Those 2 angles are obviously not equal to each other because angle 1 is acute and angle 2 is obtuse. However, they make this straight line right here, which means that angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 180 degrees. It's going to be really valuable to us. On the other side of that line, we have angle 3 and angle 4, and they make that same guy, right? Angle 3 and angle 4. So also angle 3 and added to angle 4 is 180 degrees. Now, watch this. Let's talk about this line. On the top above this line, we have angle 2 and angle 3. Well, those add to 180 degrees. And then below that line, we have angle 1 and angle 4. So those also add to 180 degrees. These 2 sets of information that we now know about vertical angles and linear pairs are going to be really helpful for us to solving these next couple of problems. For example, find the unknown angles. Well, I'm given that angle 2 is 45 degrees. If angle 2 is 45 degrees, that means that its vertical angle is also 45 degrees, and vertical angles are across from each other. So this guy right here is 45 degrees as well. Now, how do we find angles 1 and 3? Well, the first thing that I see, and there's a couple ways you can go at this. I'm going to look at this guy. I know that angle 2 plus angle 1 is 180 degrees. So I already have 45 degrees. How many more do I need to get to 180? It's 135 degrees. So angle 1 is 135 degrees. And then if angle 1 is 135 and angle 3 is across from it, that means they are equivalent. There you have it. There's your first one. Let's do another. Angle 3 is 83 degrees. Cool. Then I definitely know what angle 1 is. Angle 1 then is also 83 degrees. Now we have to find out angle 2 or angle 4. I'm going to look at angle 2. I see that angle 3 and angle 2 make a straight line. So 83 plus angle 2 equals 180. So I already have 83 degrees. How many more do I need to get to 180? And the measure of angle 2 is 97 degrees. So now I can find 4 because I know that angle 2 is equivalent to angle 4. So that means angle 4 must also be 97 degrees. All right. I want you guys to finish up these two. And then when you are done, check your answer with the teacher. In the next video, we'll finish up this learning target.